All right. Welcome and thank you for being here. UAB concludes the regular season this weekend at Louisiana Tech. So with that, I'll turn it over to Coach Vincent. Following Coach Vincent, we have offensive lineman Sidney Wells and defensive tackle Fish McWilliams.
Tough loss Saturday night, in Death Valley. If you go back and you look at really the first half, they come down, they drive down and score. They go up 7-0, and we were able to come back with a good kickoff return, punch it in, tie it up. Then they drive down and score again, and then we were able to get a good drive going, and we were able to kick a field goal right there, in the second quarter, make it 14-10, and then as they come back down and then they score again, it was at that point where it was 21-10, and we've got another good drive going, and it's 4th and 3. Right there in plus territory. It just felt like with the momentum of the game, we needed to go for it. We had to stay, we wanted to be able to stay ahead with them right there and be able to match them and try to match them score for score. I think something that's, when you go back and look at it, I think they had 29 snaps in the first half, and then we had right at, I think it was 15. So something that I thought was key in the first half is we needed to match them score for score. And then we needed to get off the field on defense on third downs. A stat that really stuck out is they were 6 for 6 on third downs, and we were 1 for 5 in the first half. And I felt like that was a big, obviously that was a big deal in the game, being able to get those guys off, and for us to be able to stay on and match their scoring opportunities. So then you go to the second half, and we're come out, and I felt like offensively we didn't get in a rhythm the first 2 drives. We didn't execute. We had some things open. We just did not execute at that moment. And then we come back to that third drive, and they've pulled ahead, and we're trying to close it. And we get something going. We have a 15-play drive, and we stall down there in the red zone. And I felt like that was a big turning point for us to be able to get back in it in the second half. At the end of the day, our guys played extremely hard. You got to give LSU a lot of credit. There's a reason they're the SEC Western Division champs. There's a reason, right now they're probably top 5 in the country. They've got a really good football team. They're well coached, and now, we're focused on moving ahead. Our focus to La Tech. We've got a lot on the line. These seniors and this football team have the opportunity to get bowl eligible for the 7th straight year. If that happens, then that'd give us the opportunity to be the 3rd team in UAB history with an opportunity to win a bowl game. So with that being done, Steve?
When your standard here has been set at winning championships, I mean, you've said that all year long. When it's just bowl eligibility, I mean, I know that's a big deal, but is that a tough sell, or is that tough to handle a little bit?
Well, I think you go back to really – after the FAU game, and we were down at FAU, and we came up short and got beat at FAU, that's when really we had to have a lot of dominoes fall for us to have enough. So really we were almost basically out of it after the FAU game, and there's a lot of pride here. There's a lot of passion, and there's been a lot of work to get this program where it's at today. On our standard is to play for a championship. We break it down on a championship every year because there's a lot of coaches and there's a lot of players on this football team that set those standards and elevated those standards to where they're at today. So I don't think it was a hard sell, because this football team, we were disappointed and we were hurt because we know everything we put into it, and to have the losses that we had by 1 possessions at the end of each game is not something that was difficult, and it was disappointing. But the character, the care, the brotherhood of this football team fought through the adversity and the disappointment after every game, and they came back and they brought it every single day in practice. We played extremely hard every single game. And so I don't think it was a tough sell because of the character and the perseverance of this team. And it's a lot of these guys, say around the majority of this football team set those standards and helped build this program to where it is and what it's become. We've won more games than anybody in Conference USA since the return. We're 29-4 at home in Birmingham. We've won the only 2 championships and only 2 bowl games in school history. So there's a lot to be proud of, and that's something we're going to continue to do here. But now, without a doubt, this football team is driven, and this football team is focused on getting to a bowl game and getting bowl eligible.
You look at La Tech, new coach this year, new ideas, but they still got some of the same guys around. You got the 2 Harris receivers. You got a couple tight ends that have given everyone headaches. But, talk about the kind of quarterback situation, because they got 2 guys who have been able to kind of get the job done this year, and they kind of been going between both of them.
If you go back to UAB and La Tech, there's a lot of history between UAB and La Tech. There's a lot of tradition between us and those guys. Coach Cummey, he's a great coach. He's been successful everywhere he's been. This is his first season at La Tech, and you have, there's change. There's philosophy differences. And you've seen that they've played well at home. They're 3-1 at home, and they've had some big wins. It's a very proud program. And I think if you talk about their quarterback situation, Liddy is a true freshman. We recruited him a little bit out of high school, so we were very aware of him. He's a very efficient, smart, accurate quarterback. He started the last 2 games. Their starter's out with a hand injury. We don't know. We're hearing it's probably a game-time decision with him. But Liddy's a guy that can distribute the ball. They've got great receivers. They've got experienced receivers. They've got guys that have played a lot of football at La Tech. And anytime that UAB and La Tech line up, it's always, a great challenge and a great game.
With the way you played Saturday, you just went through the game, but you played well. Does that, even with the loss, does that kind of add some confidence, for this game, that you played well on the road, in a tough place?
I think just the experience alone of going to Death Valley and playing in that atmosphere and playing, a top 5 team, the SEC West champ, I think that experience alone and that atmosphere alone, our team grew and we got better and we were able to handle a lot of adversity. We just had the opportunities. Really, when it comes down to those games and you're playing an elite team in the country, your execution's got to be at an elite level. And we had opportunities to make a lot more plays, really, on both sides of the ball in all 3 phases. And you've got to be able to execute those and get those plays done to stay in that game and have an opportunity in the end. But I do think it did benefit our football team.
Just to follow on that, Dylan was really sharp early, almost BYU sharp. It looked like early, and then missed a lot of guys in the second half. Kind of what was the difference in him in the 2 halves, you think?
I think in the first quarter, Dylan was 8 for 8. He finished the first half. It was 13 for 16. So then we come out that first drive of the second half, and we had a quick game called, and he was late. We were late throwing it to T-Palm right there. Then you come back, and then we've got a naked called where you saw Bryce Damus was wide open, and we got pressured by Perkins there off the edge. Again, that was an execution. It was there. We had another quick game called, and we threw it behind Schropp. Had a lot of opportunities, a lot of guys open. We just didn't execute. So I think a lot of it was just timing. A lot of it had to do with LSU, and then the other half had to do with just executing the play because you saw we had guys open. We just didn't execute it.
Brady Wilson in his second start, just talk about what he's been able to do these last couple of weeks, especially being in an environment that y'all didn't have a lot of pre-snap penalties or anything of that nature. Just talk about him as well as Will, Max, and Kelly's availability this week.
I thought overall, we had 2 false start penalties, but Brady Wilson, for his second start of his career at center against the defensive front, that we saw in LSU, in that atmosphere, I thought Brady played it really well. I thought he played at a high level. He had movement up front. He was able to ID all the pass protection. I had to ID our run game. I thought he did a great job. He was physical. All our snaps were on point. All of our protections and stuff were on point. So I thought Brady played at a high level. I was very proud of his performance as his second start, against that team.
for you, just, you have one more game left, maybe two, so it's really not time to reflect, fully. But for you, what has this season been like for you?
Personally, it's been an honor, and it's just such an honor. It's been very humbling to lead this team, to be the head coach at UAB. Just the relationships and the togetherness that we have in this program, and the culture in this program is something that's very important to me and very dear to me and my family. I love these players and I love these coaches. It ain't just football, It's life, it's relationships, it's mentoring men. And had a lot of great memories here. A lot of great memories, from the first championship in 18 to the first bowl win in 18 to the second championship, to fighting through all the adversity that we've been through here in the last 5 years to get this program really where it is now. And I know we're disappointed in this year. If 5 close losses, for 27 points, when you take out the LSU game, if 5 close losses and this is the last game at UAB, I have nothing but great memories. Very proud of what we've built here and what we've accomplished here, but really probably more proud of the relationships and the mentoring of these men, and just seeing these guys grow and what they've become as men, and really as a team. I think this year right here is how this program was built. That's what I don't think people really understand sometimes, is how does this program really built to where it is? You go to 2014, it was built on adversity. It was built on it. And we lived it, and we fought through it, and then that was the beginning. Then you come back in 17, you restart the program. You go 8-5. You're bowl eligible for the second time, or third time in school history. Then you go to 18, and we win 11 games. 11. We win a conference championship. And then we win the first bowl game in school history ever. And come back and we lose 34 seniors. You go to 19. We win 9 games in 19. We lose our conference opener. And we go to the conference championship again. Then you go to 20. 5 games canceled. We lose to Lafayette, and we lose to La Tech back-to-back. Then we have 5 games canceled. Adversity. We go with 42 scholarship players to Rice and win it. And then we go to Marshall and win the second conference championship. Bowl game gets canceled. Then you go to 21 and we lose the last couple seconds against UTSA. That was tough. Because, again, we set the standard of championships here at UAB. And then we go beat BYU in the rain with our quarterback with 102. So then you come to this year, and Coach Clark, has back surgery and retires to get his health. And we lose 5 games by 27 points, and this team has never wavered. The character and the perseverance and the toughness and the foundation of this program has shown itself all year, And then here we still have a chance, because of our effort and because of our brotherhood that we have built here. Now this team has a chance to be bowl eligible again. You know what I mean? And I look forward to this last game to go to war with these players and these coaches one more time.
Anything else? All right. Thanks, Coach. Thank you. We'll move Fish McWilliams up to the podium, defensive tackle. So questions for Fish.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just going into this last game, obviously, it's a must-win to get to bowl eligibility. Just how much would that mean for this team, considering just the adversity it has faced this season and kind of falling short of the expectations y'all have created for yourselves?
Yeah, it'll be tremendous to get bowl eligible. I just feel like this team, we fought hard all season, stayed with each other, and that's why I feel like we'll be able to do Saturday. Just the family, the brotherhood, as Coach V said, that this team has, and we gonna continue to bring no matter what. So this Saturday we're gonna come out, do the same thing we've been doing all season, just play hard and fight to the end.
What has been the key, or what are the things that have kept this team, together this year through some tough times?
Coach V, just his philosophy of what he brings as a head coach through our fall camp, just saying, like he said, the power's in the pack, and just we the pack, so we're the family, we're the brothers, so we got to stay together no matter what happened. He just drilled that into us, and you can see that we believe that, like, no matter what. So that all had to do with Coach V.
You've been a part of this game these last few years against La Tech. Just how big of a game is it for the players? As a rivalry, between the players, as it is, opposed to what the fans perceive it as.
This game is huge. Anytime we play La Tech, it seems like the game always coming down to like the small details, the small things. Like it's a hard game throughout the entire game. I think I was 2019 or 2018 wide receiver. It was crazy. We was at Legion, wide open. The ball slipped right down his chest. So it's just great games. And we go back to that was 2020 at La Tech. End of the game, overtime. How that happened, just playing them last year. Even they played hard last year at Protector. So I just know that La Tech always gonna bring it. They gonna bring it, and we gonna bring it. So it's just be a good game.
I'm gonna ask him one. So if somebody, random stranger, walked up to you on the street and asked you to summarize Coach Vincent in one sentence, what would you say about him?
One sentence. I'll just say Coach V is that man. That's all I can say. He's the man. He's the glue to this team. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Now we'll move offensive lineman Sidney Wells up to the podium. Sidney's finishing his eligibility here, so 2 more games for him, hopefully. So come on.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
With this being your last couple games, when you leave, what does it mean to you to leave with being part of a big part of setting that standard is expecting championships here? I mean, kind of when you move forward, so what does that mean to you?
It's always going to hold a special place in my heart because growing up, like, this was a childhood dream. I always dreamed of playing college football, always dreamed of being able to make a mark. I was able to win a conference championship. So it's going to be really instilled in my heart for as long as I'll be able to remember it.
And what is it going to mean to you to be bowl eligible? I mean, to end this thing in that way, I mean, how important is that to you guys that are leaving after this?
It's very important. Right now, as an offensive line, we know that we've been talking about me, Tree Hearn, and Telly just creating more memories that are going to last. So it's very important for us to, like, get an extra game because we know time's coming to an end.
Kind of the same question I asked Fish. Just talk about kind of the rivalry. As the players see it, between UAB and La Tech, because like you said, it's always a game that's come down to the small details and execution.
Every time we played La Tech, it's always been a battle, regardless of the records, regardless of who has the better record or not. It's always been a battle. It's always going to be a battle because I guess that's what history does. It just repeats itself. So it's very important.
This might be a silly question, but I don't know. I'm not a player. But why is a bowl game important? What is it? What makes a bowl game so important for a program?
Really, it's speaking from a personal standpoint. For a program, it of course is going to look good, but like as a football team, it's more time. You got to make the most of your time. And I got here in 2019, and it just flew by. So I'm just trying to be able to. We're trying to be able to make memories that last because football doesn't last for everybody. So that's really the importance of it.
And as an offensive line, is it important for you guys to have Debo finish this thing as a leading rusher in the country? I mean, I know that's an individual thing, but it's really not an individual thing. It's really a team thing. Is that important to you guys?
Yes, sir. It is. It is. When Debo scores, we score. That's how we look at it. So it's going to be very important for us to send Debo off with whatever record he breaks, So we as an offensive line, we take that personally because we feel that he's a reflection of our work. So we want Debo to go out with whatever record he gets, whatever records come with it, whatever accolades, we want to make it the best for him.
You speak of creating more memories and getting as many as you can while you're here. What are some of your favorite memories during your time at UAB?
By far, it would have to be the 2020 championship with everything that we've been through, everything that we've experienced, from guys getting sick, games getting canceled, the BYU game when nobody really gave us a chance. Those memories will always stick with me. Like they're like I'm never going to forget those, and I appreciate this program for allowing me to have that time here. So.
He wants me to ask you too. So if you bumped into a stranger on the street and they asked you to summarize Coach Vincent in one sentence, how would you do it?
There's a lot of things that I can say about Coach V, but what I can say is this guy he's amazing. And amazing really doesn't even put everything in context of it. Like, Coach V has done so much for this program under the scenes. Y'all just don't know. Like, Coach V has really been that guy, like Fish said. So I appreciate everything that he's done, his body of work, his dedication. He's really done it all for us. He takes care of us. I can't thank this guy enough.
Just real quick, kind of on that line, is obviously, the championships and stuff you remember, but how much you think you remember this year with everything you guys have been through? Some of, a lot of it's not good, but just the way you stay together and just, what's this season going to be like in your memory?
With the amount of adversity that we faced this year, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I know it sounds crazy, but there's still memories, and there's still people that are basically your family. So regardless the good through the bad, like, I'm still going to remember them because they're people that you love. So I wouldn't trade this at all, regardless of what happened.
I'll ask him one more. We use the word adversity a lot, and I know for me, when I face adversity, I always say something to myself that gets you through that adversity. Is there something you guys are going to say to yourselves this week, sort of as a team, to get through this last game and get this win? Is there a mantra that you're going with?
One word: fight. Just keep fighting. That's all we've been saying. Regardless of the outcome, regardless of what happens, we're going to fight together and stay together. That's it.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.